Hey guys, and welcome to this video. We're going to be talking about the James Gunn comments on Ezra Miller's future as the Flash. So, James Gunn addressed the future of Ezra Miller in the DCU after the release of The Flash. There's a lot of excitement from fans for the release of The Flash this summer, though the film is still not without its controversy. There have been some criticisms over keeping Ezra Miller in the role, some criticisms, that's a bit of an understatement, keeping Ezra Miller in the role as Barry Allen due to legal troubles and various allegations. They're not really allegations when there's actual videos of him choking women. That's an actual thing that happened. That's not an allegation. That have been leveled against the actor. As the movie had already been shot, recasting the role wasn't a viable option, especially seeing as Ezra Miller was playing two Barry Allens. That made the situation even worse, because trying to deep fake or switch out one actor who's playing one role is one thing, but when he's playing two roles, that makes it even more difficult. Viable option. And Warner Brothers remain committed to releasing the film, albeit with multiple delays. Miller also since publicly apologized for his actions and vowed to pursue treatment for his mental health. And then it goes on to say a quote from Ezra Miller. Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment, Miller said in a statement. Quote, I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage of my life. See, whether Ezra Miller actually said this, or it's probably just a, it's probably just a statement from, from the studios. Whether he actually made the statement or not, we're not really sure. But that's kind of the statement that we've had so far as an update about what's going on. In January, DC Studios co-head Peter Safran commented on potentiality of Miller sticking around in the DCEU as Barry Allen following the release of The Flash. Safran said that the embattled actor is completely committed to his recovery and that they're not even going to discuss the future of the character until Miller is ready to have that conversation. Go on to say, quote, when the time is right, when he feels he is ready to have a discussion, we'll all figure out what his best way forward is. But right now, he is completely focused on his recovery, Safran said. In our conversations with him over the last couple of months, it feels like they're making enormous progress. So yeah, there's just like PR statements about him, having mental health issues and recovering. I don't think we've had any update as to where he is in his recovery stage at the moment, but we just kind of have these statements. And then James Gunn just stated, let's see what happens. Gunn added back at the time. James Gunn remains committed to the wait and see approach. I don't think there's a wait and see approach. This is just a PR spin. There is absolutely no way you would allow Ezra Miller back in this role. If you're going to make a Flash 2 and you're going to invest hundreds of millions of dollars, are you really going to invest that in an actor who's got allegations of child abuse and videos of him choking out women? Are you really going to put this guy in another movie and risk hundreds of millions of dollars? It's never going to happen, never. But anyway, guys, James Gunn was again asked about the current status of Miller in the DCU. Given how there has been continued criticism over his casting, Gunn stands by what Safran said in January, reiterating that they are still holding back from figuring out what's going on for now. At this time, the focus is on the release of The Flash, while allowing Miller more time to maintain his focus on his recovery with his mental health treatments. And then, quote, we're just going to have to wait and see, Gunn said, via AP Entertainment. We'll see how things go, so you know. Yeah, like I keep saying, guys, there's absolutely no way. It would be the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life. If they announced The Flash 2 of Ezra Miller, that would just be... I think the whole online movie punditry space would just explode, because you can't invest hundreds of millions of dollars in a guy who's got this bad of a track record. These comments echo what director Andy Muschietti recently said about Miller's DC future. Muschietti said that he hadn't had any of those talks, as everyone is waiting to see how the movie does. That may suggest that the movie does well enough in theaters. Miller could potentially return for the role, never going to happen if his mental health recovery stays on course. In any case, it appears we won't be getting a solid answer to that question until sometime after the release of the movie. The Flash will be released in movie theaters on June 16th, 2023. It's just not, guys. It's just not going to happen. For anybody who's thinking that Miller's going to stick around, no way, not going to happen. Would you bank hundreds of millions of dollars of your own money? Well, would you even bank thousands of, like, if you had to cast him, would you put up your own money and risk it on this guy who's got this bad of a track record? I wouldn't even risk £100 on this guy, let alone hundreds of millions. It's just crazy. Say they went into production on Flash 2 and then more allegations came out against him and it threw the Flash 2 into chaos. And yeah, no, you just can't do it. It's not something you could do. But anyway, guys, let's go over to we're going to go over to this AP Entertainment Twitter. It's got a small video from James Gunn, the quote, and then we can read the comments and people's reactions for what James Gunn said as well. So we'll just jump over there quickly. So over on the AP Entertainment tweet, DC Studios director James Gunn says he'll wait and see to determine whether the troubled star Ezra Miller will continue playing the Flash in the future. He knows damn well that he won't, but it's just you can't say that he won't because your movie's coming out, so you have to act vague about it. They already know. So let's play this clip quickly.
We're just gonna have to wait and see. You know, I mean, we'll see how things go. So, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing really, like, that's all he says. He just says we'll have to wait and see, but they already know. Let's go down and read some of these comments that people are making about what James Gunn has said. Okay, this guy is a predator. Well, he's still got his court date coming up, so yeah. Wait and see what exactly. Yeah, wait and see what. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's we're looking at his contract and making sure we pay him little to nothing to break. Couldn't the camera get any closer to Gunn's face? They probably were standing back, but they may have cropped the video in just slightly. I'm not sure why. This means he's definitely fired, but we'll wait until the movie's been released so it doesn't tank at the box. Yeah, that's exactly what I just say, guys. You're not going to come out, before your movie comes out, you're not going to come out and say, oh yeah, the actor will not be playing him in the future. Like, you just wouldn't do that. You'd just destroy your own film otherwise. Oh, come on, Gunn, fire him, and Amber too, for God's sake. Yeah, there's a lot of people are sort of pissed off that Amber Heard's still around. You know, you get rid of Henry Cavill, but you keep Amber Heard and Ezra Miller. Like, people are just a bit baffled at kind of what some of the decisions, you know. If Miller's out, there's no way he's saying that before his movie releases. Of course, you'd have to be an idiot to do that. Legal told him what to say. No way I'm supporting this. Yeah, that of course. Like, you've got these people who are being interviewed, like James Gunn and executives. Anybody from DC Studios, they would have been briefed by their PR teams. If you get asked any questions about Ezra Miller, this is the statement you have to say, and then there would just be a couple of different statements that they would be allowed to say. And if someone come up to you and said, is Ezra Miller going to continue as the Flash? You would just have to say, oh, we don't know. We'd have to wait and see. Like, that's literally all they can say. They probably won't be allowed to say anything else. But he got rid of Henry Cavill. Yeah. I mean, what can we say about that? That hasn't already been said. He said, let's see the box office numbers first. Yeah. He's like, LOL, he's like, he fired, but I can't say until after. Yeah, that's the case. I reckon the movie will come out. This is my prediction. I think the movie will come out. It will do its theatrical run, and then after the theatrical run, or maybe they'll release it on streaming as well first. They might allow it to run on streaming as well before they say, because you wouldn't want to tank the movie before it comes to streaming, because they make a lot of money in streaming. So I'm not really sure as to how long they're going to wait until they say when Ezra Miller's out. Seriously, translation, let's see how much money the Flash makes before we cite. No, they've already decided, I think. I will not be patroning, sorry guys, I can't say that word, patroning any film that Ezra is involved. Hollywood has a terrible track record of protecting children. The fact that this is even something they have to think about is evidence that not much has changed. That's fair. I mean, some people are just put off entirely to the point where they don't want to support this movie. But you got to remember, it's not Ezra Miller's movie. This is Andy Muschietti's movie. And there's thousands of people that have worked on this movie who have nothing to do with the Ezra Miller drama. So it's not fair that they're going to be punished by people boycotting the movie because they didn't do anything wrong. Imagine if they fired Cavill but kept Miller. Clown face. You have to worry when the head of the damn studio leaves a question unanswered when he hears the guy outlining the entire slate. That's fair. This is show business. If the movie makes money, all forgiven. Ezra Miller and Amber Heard are the tip of the spear. The only question is where the tip of the spear is pointing on the sales graph. There's no correlation between talent and being a good person. Yeah, I guess not. Obviously, famous people throughout the years have done terrible things, and they still remain in their positions of power, and they still remain making money. That's just the way it is. Sometimes money talks. You got money, you got power and influence. You can get away with a lot of things. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's go back. That's a look and see. That's awkward. You change the subject because I can't tell people that he's out of the role until after the movie. Don't care about what he did. Keep him if it's what. Don't care what he did. Keep it if it's a massive success. No, you just can't. You're investing hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a business. You don't invest money in people that have videos of them choking women. You can't do it. It's not a thing. Ezra Miller literally terrorized an entire island, and your response is wait and see. Yeah, there was like allegations of him breaking into people's houses and like robbing people and all this kind of stuff. Just crazy stuff. We're not talking about minor stuff here, like crazy stuff. I will forever know this guy is Kirk's brother. I'm not really sure. That might have been from a role that he was in or something. I'm not really sure. Standing with Mr. Gunn is bad business unless Disney wants to publicly brand themselves as a creepy brand. This isn't quite safe or family friendly. Meaning he's gone. Are you effing kidding me? We'll read a few more, guys. Wouldn't it be fair when the perverted pedo party he was filmed at would have had the same way of thinking? He gets to continue to work. Oh, I don't really know what that means. Remember, he continued to work after all of this. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of history with James Gunn himself releasing tweets about things a while back. But that's all over and done with now. Like, as far as I'm concerned, people do things wrong in the past. Like, certain things you can forgive and move on from, like a tweet or something like that. Yeah, I mean, that can verbally harm someone, but physically harming someone is kind of crossing the line altogether. That's going way, way too far. But yeah, guys, what do you think about James Gunn's comments on the wait and see approach with Ezra Miller? Sorry. Do you care about the Ezra Miller drama? Does it put you off seeing the movie? Are you not really bothered about what's going on with Ezra Miller? Do you separate the art from the artist? And are you going to go and see this movie opening weekend? Let me know what you think, guys. Jump down to the comment section, and I'll see you soon.